Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is PSGL round number 10? It is round number 10. I'm quite sure it's round number 10. I think I just got it right again. For like the 4th or 5th time in a row. We are cooking on the round numbers, not gonna lie. And this is round 10 around Imola in Italy. Emilia Romagna Gran Premio d'Italia. And we're gonna head out for our first Q1 session here to try and make it into Q2 in one set of tires, or on one set of tires in one run. And we hope that Bari can drop some more points again compared to us. We finished second 2 races in a row now, both in Austria and Suzuka, and both times we gained points on Bari in the championship, and we are now 13 points behind. And the point system is a little bit different. You can see the point system in the top right. So it's 16 points for a win, and then still 1 point for P10. So let's see if we can get some more points here around Imola. Get a W maybe, because we finished second a lot of times this season. We've actually only finished second this season apart from Qatar.
And the races on a lap right,
and the race
sector 2 now.
And the races we did not start, of course. So as you can hear me say, first one Yoni on a lap. Reason why there was no answer is because you cannot hear my race engineer. It's actually Cedric Tomei for this round, my old F1 Esports teammate from the Renault days in 2019. He's still doing sim racing every now and then. Last year we actually did the V10R League finals together on Assetto Corsa, which we managed to win. So we've been actually teammates for quite long now. And now we're just preparing our tires for our first Q1 run, and hopefully our only Q1 run. DRS open, smooth on the steering wheel through this little kink as we try to take a short line through both of them into turn 1. You basically already got 3 corners done before you hit the first braking zone, and then try to carry as much speed as possible. Hit the sausage curb a little bit on the inside and got a bit of a wiggle on the exit there, so that was not ideal, as we had flat out through this section. A little bit of understeer, but managed to get the car rotated well right on the limit of track limit warning there, 23.624, as we got nice rotation through there and got on the power nicely. No wheel spin or anything through there. Fast left-hander coming up. A little bit of understeer again. Of course, balance is a little bit all over the place, always in Q1, as there's just not as much grip as in Q2 and Q3. A little bit safe there on the track limit side. Again, Imola, a track where you can very easily get a lot of track limit warnings. Backhand wants to step out over those curbs, as we were fully committed over them into the final 2 corners then. Very important to get the right amount of rotation through here, because it's downhill. The car tends to understeer a lot more, getting on the power early, trying to get the front end in once again, and we go on the power to open the DRS, and it is a 113.387, and I was quite surprised by that actually.
How close is it now?
Because I saw a purple lap pop up from Otis at 13.3, and he was P1, and we were only like P8, so we had to go out again, because I didn't feel like P8 was going to be enough. We did make it through in the end. You can see there P15, but I decided to finish the lap anyway, which puts us P2 in the end there. So we definitely did have the pace, but yeah, it's just not in one run. So we were 800ths away from Nicolas there at the end of Q1, and half a turn out of our teammate Marcel Kiefer. Now, a bit of a shocker, Freddy Rasmussen out in Q1. Same with Fabrizio Donoso and Diony Tormola. Alfie Butcher had a qualifying ban for this round, so he is not qualifying. First run.
Tire pace is good.
First run in Q2 there on a used set of tires. That was really good. We went fastest, but then we went on to a new set of tires, and we were actually 3 100ths down into the final sector. Luckily for us, we did gain a lot of time through the chicane, and in the final 2 corners I felt like on my old set of tires that the rears dropped away a little bit through here. So again, quite a bit of a time gain through those final 2 corners. Another
really
half
just
a 10 gain.
Lost a tenth in sector 1 on new tires.
And as you can hear me say, I lost a tenth on new tires compared to used tires. So that was very frustrating, and that meant we had to go again. We just simply had to go again on another new set of tires, and that means if we do make it through here, we only have 1 new set of tires for Q3, so that makes it a bit difficult. But We first actually have to make it into Q3 as we're P14 at the moment, but improving by 1.3 tenths. Up to the line we go, the air is open, and we have made it through with a 113.088. And it was a lot closer than I thought. I thought I was easily going to make it through, and I took it quite easy in the final 2 corners. But the gaps were insane. Otis Lawrence only half a tenth ahead of me. Lucas Blakely only 6 100ths away from Otis Lawrence. And if you did anything slower, you're out. So Jake was 1.3 or 1.4 tenths off, I think so. My big head was blocking the gaps anywhere below the top 10. But more importantly, Barry Bormand, our championship rival, out in Q2. And that was crazy to me because I don't remember ever seeing Barry go out in Q2 session or a Q1 session. And it's actually happened now. So it's crazy to me. Now, our old tire run actually here at the start of Q3, and we were by far the fastest. So actually, our teammate, in real life teammate, Danny Bresnay, had a new set of tires, and we went faster. So we absolutely nailed that run. I think Josh might have had used tires as well, but I don't remember exactly. But definitely everyone I had there had new tires, including Nicolas Longe, who invalidated his lap. So let's see what we can do in a new set of tires here. The very end of Q3. Very important to get with this one together. Easy to invalidate. And let's see if we can actually get the first sector correct on a new set of tires this time. And we've actually managed to gain time instead of lose time on a new set of tires through the first sector. Into the fast chicane we go. Nice rotation. Back and stable as we head into the slow left-hander uphill. So quite a lot of oversteer on the power there as we go once again up the hill. So important to have a good exit out of that tight left-hander. Missed the apex a little bit in the fast left-hander, and that definitely cost us up to 1/10 of a second. Through the fast right-hander we go. We have to keep concentrated and stay on the limit. Backhand steps out, and we once again lose time through there. Now, can we clutch up in the final sector to maybe still fight for a pole position? Backhand wants to step out again, but we did carry a lot of minimum speed, and we did get a good exit. Into the final 2 corners we go. Let's see if we can get it right and even better than our used tire run. Front end grips up nicely. Rears on the limit though. Up to the line we go. Early on power. 2 tenths up. Is it gonna be enough for pole? It is not, unfortunately, as we did not get a purple message up top, and it's only P6 unfortunately. So not ideal, but honestly I was happy with it. Only 1.2 tenths away. Big mistake in that fast left-hander as well. I've been sick all day as well on race day, so I barely did any practice simply because I was so tired and I felt so bad. So honestly, very happy with P6. Usually I wouldn't be happy with P6, but considering we've been sick all day, I'm happy with it. I'm better now though, so no excuse for next week, Wednesday around Spa. Onto the race we go now then. Still got a lot of points on the table here. We're going to be starting on the mediums, just like a lot of people around us. Everyone around us actually on the mediums, and then we're going to be moving on to the hards later on in this race. Anyway, 5 red lights it is. And away we go for round number 10 of PSGL. Lucas gets a slightly better start. We get a better start than Danny Bresnay into turn 1, into the slipstream of Lucas Blakely. We're going to go around the outside here, and we have to concede a little bit there. So Otis actually steps out of the way from Lucas. They're teammates, of course, but that invited us to go down the inside of Otis here. Had to be a bit careful there because in F1 Esports, my race ended right there. So I did not want to make the same mistake as that actually happened behind me, and wanted to be a bit careful. Just the pack tends to bunch up there, and you expected actually the speed to be really high because it's such a high speed corner, but naturally it just slows down so much, and it's actually a proper braking zone on the opening lap. So yeah, no positions gained. Could have maybe taken a little bit more risk there in the fast chicane, but decided to think about the championship as well, of course, because this is a good opportunity for us to get big points, or at least a big point gain to Barry, who has actually had an incident on the opening lap. You can see there on the minimap in the bottom left, he is down in 3rd last, and he had an incident with Jake, which I think had a lag bubble, so No further action on that for sure. But yeah, both of them out of the race basically. In this field, if
Ulas, yeah, Ulas just boxed.
As you can hear me say there, Ulas boxed lap 10 very, very early. But as you can hear me say, once you get an incident in the opening lap, it's so tough to get back because the grid is so close. You know, you can see that Q2 top 10 covered in 6.5 hundredths of a second, and if you then get an incident in the opening lap, it's basically GG's. There's not much you're going to be able to do from there on. So again, more people boxing at the end of lap 11. I decided once again to stay out another lap, and it's simply because I could box, but it is tricky to the end on hards. And the lap after, the two guys ahead of me were boxing, Josh behind me was boxing, and
I'm happy to go longer, to be honest.
We kind of planned that Marcel was going to box lap 12, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay out here together with my other teammate Danny Bresnay. And I told him, you know what, I'm not using ERS. You can use ERS to get back into my DRS. But I am going to be pushing my tires, of course, because we want to limit the undercut other people are going to get. And at the moment, we've only been undercut by Marcel and Josh. But we are most likely going to be undercut by Istvan Pukki and Wilson Huge as well. But you can see there on the mini-map, it's only like 3-4 cars. And half of the other grid is on hards. So I felt like it was a good opportunity to go long. And Danny Bresnay behind me was thinking the same. He is getting DRS on this lap, as you can see him gain into turn 1. But on the next lap he dropped out, as we had quite good race pace, I think so, compared to him. So he's going to be boxing this lap, and then he's probably going to get the undercut. But what I'm going to be doing is then re-overtaking straight away on the lap after, because he will be in clean air, so that's going to be an easy pass. And then together we can work towards the front and not fight each other basically. So coming in at the end of this lap onto a new set of hards. We've done exactly half the race on the mediums. And that means we're going to have very good tires towards the end of the race. One thing we have to be a little bit careful of is though, Brendan and Alfie both on hards. They're going to be moving onto the mediums and they're going to be fast towards the end. But they are continuing for a few more laps here. And they're going to be catching us quite fast probably. But we're going to be catching the pack fast as well, because we have 6 lap fresher tires than Ulas, who boxed in lap 10, and then the rest followed in the next 2 laps. So we have quite a big tire advantage here, and we're gonna try and use it nicely, of course, in the coming few laps. So out we go, using a bit of my battery, and we actually are coming out ahead of Danny Bresnay, and that means we don't even have to switch the lap after. And I'm just gonna start pushing now straight away. As you can see in the first stint, we had quite a bit better race pace than Danny, so I'm just going to be pushing flat out. Save a bit on my ERS, of course, for the battles that are going to be coming in the final 10 laps. But yeah, Danny is just in a good position as well, because he can just follow us through. Even though he might be struggling a little bit on pace, the DRS will help him on the main straight, of course, to stay close to us. Now, as you can see there, in 4 laps we basically gained 3 seconds. So really strong pace at the moment from us here. But the question is, of course, can we keep this pace throughout the race? Are our tires gonna stay in good shape to even stay out of Brendan? Because you can see that Brendan is catching fast. P12 he is currently, and he has fresh mediums. I think he boxed at the end of lap 18, so he has 2 lap fresher tires and the softer compound. So he is gonna be faster, but probably over time it's gonna level out. Because the softer compound, of course, wears out faster. And now we're finally going to get DRS from Wilson ahead. Again, we're not going to rush it. We've got close to a full battery. We're not going to overtake him this lap on this rate. But we are probably looking to overtake him somewhere in the middle sector. And then straight away on the long straight here, we can go for a move on Istvan. And as you can see there, Brendan setting the fast lap of the race. He is pushing as well, and he's getting closer. So Danny again struggling a little bit, you can see there. Now we got DRS, he actually dropped out of the 1 second DRS window, but I'm sure he will catch back up because his tires are much fresher than the train ahead as well, of course. So we are looking to find a way past Wilson here, somewhere in the middle sector. You can see he has so much less grip than us. We're gaining tenths per corner, as his tires are just starting to drop off lap time wise quite a bit. And yeah, you need to keep in mind this is the track with the softest compounds available, C5, 4 and 3, and it's really technical. It's really all low speed corners, low speed chicanes, and that means that if you've got fresh tires, you have a big grip advantage and a big lap time advantage. And now straight away on the attack on Istvan Pukki, he knows that he can fight this, but he's probably only going to lose out even bigger if he fights it later on in this race, because there's still going to be 10 laps to go at the end of this one, and fighting someone off that has 6 lap freshy tires for 10 laps is near impossible. Now we are right behind Thomas on lap 23 here, but we've got Brendan right behind as well, who has been flying on F1 23. And yeah, I will not expect Thomas to let us through easily, because Brendan, his teammate, is right behind us. But we're gonna go for the move here into the final 2 corners around the outside. As we can brake a little bit deeper because we got Josh ahead of us. Thomas gives us just enough space on the exit, squeezes a little bit on the curb, and up to P7 we go. And we only need 1 position more to get back up to where we started. And then we still got 9 laps to go. So it's looking good at the moment. It's looking very good. We have drained quite a bit of a battery though in all these passes. And now we've got Brendan right behind us on very fresh mediums. But if we can only keep him behind for a few more laps, maybe 1, 2, 3, his tire advantage will fade away and pretty much become equal with ours. That will be huge. We can pull that off. But again, I have to use a bit of my battery every single time to cover off Brendan on that fresh rubber, because he's just getting better exits. You can see there, back end stepping out over those curbs. I'm in dirty air, tires starting to drop off a little bit now, and the passes are only going to become harder as, yeah, the pace advantage just, I think, levels off a little bit. So I'm going to try and go for a move into turn 1 on Josh Idowu, turning on the overtake button, but he's doing the same, of course, and I had to abort that attempt into turn 1 because, yeah, we just couldn't get close enough. So we're gonna have to find another way through in the coming few laps, because he can clearly defend well enough, or has enough pace to defend from us at the moment. So let's see if we can do the same to Wilson and somehow find a way through in this middle sector. We had to defend a little bit from Brendan there as he goes around the outside trying to get a switch back there, but again using a bit of my battery. I was thinking about going for a move there on Josh, but just a little bit too hesitant, and going side by side into that fast left-hander is not a smart idea as well. So we stay in P7 for now. Now let's see if we can do the same to Josh as we did to Wilson, and we turn on the overtake button to go for a move into the chicane, down the inside, bit on the marbles. I've gone a little bit deep and squeezed Josh on the curb. I've got a massive snap of oversteer, and now Brendan actually managed to make the switch back. So I went for a very risky move there, arguably went a little bit too far. I think I pushed Josh onto the curb, so we might be under investigation for that, but we are ahead now, and we've got Brendan pulling away from us quite fast there. So not my best move, and arguably quite a big mistake, because we have to defend into turn 1 from Josh, as Josh was trying to defend from Alfie, and up to P7. Although we kind of stayed in P7 because Brendan got passed on the switchback, so not an ideal scenario, but it is what it is. And now let's hope that the top 5 are going to start dropping off a cliff a little bit when it comes down to tires, because we kind of need them to. Lap 28 now, we still got Alfie behind us going for a move. I'm defending the inside here nicely, and yeah, no opportunity for Alfie right there to get past, and we managed to stay ahead. Lap 29 now, halfway into lap 29. We managed to recover some of our ERS. However, at the moment we have a bit of an issue where actually the back bunched up massively there. We have a bit of an issue that we have to defend now here, and we also can't really go for a move because there's no point with Otis ahead and a 3-second penalty. We're defending nicely from Thomas there, and we managed to stay ahead right there. So there was some good racing once again It's been a good race
I
for
don't get why he's pushing this.
wheel-to-wheel racing in general.
Why is he hitting me?
And apart from the Jake and Barry incident on the opening lap, which was caused by a lag bubble, it's been clean so far. As I say that, Nicolas got pushed off in turn 1 and lost 2 positions, so went well up to then, and maybe arguably the move I had with Josh was not very clean. I apologize straight away after the race, because it was definitely my fault that I pushed him a little bit on the curb. Wasn't super dirty, of course. I just went slightly wide, and at the end of the day we both could continue. We just lost 1 position to Brandon, so on we go. In the last lap we've got quite a bit of batteries to still use, but we've got Otis head on penalty as well. So I was like, do I even go for a move here, because it's not really worth it. We can of course risk going for a move, but we're gonna get a position anyway because Otis has a penalty. And around Imola, usually time penalties for corner cutting are rightfully so, because it's such an easy track to get track limit warnings. So P6 it is, and good points once again.
I don't.
Barry in P11 after all penalties removed. We finished P6, and once again
Gain point again.
gained in the championship. Barry P10 you can see there, but I think Alfie's penalty got removed, or Thomas' penalty got removed, so Barry dropped out of the points there, and we got decent points. And yeah, once again gaining on the championship. Not our best day in the office, not gonna lie, but yeah, I just felt ill and didn't perform 100%, so that mistake in qualifying cost us a lot. Strategy maybe was not ideal going long, but it's tough to say, of course. If you look at where Josh finished, and he did go early, it's tough to say, of course. Josh and Marcel boxed on the same lap, and look at the difference where they finished, P3 and P14, so it's always a risk, and I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.
I'm in the AMG, no bitch, you